Okay, the first component we're going to make is the main shaft. So you can see that there, it's just a piece of SHS, blue steel, with some holes drilled in it. Now there's a different way that we're going to do this. We're actually going to create an assembly first and bring this part in from the Content Center and specify its length and create it as a component. So we go to our I tab and we go New, and we select Metric, and we want to select a standard millimeter assembly, that one there, and create. Okay, that gives us assembly 1, and you can see up here we have the option to place or create. So what we want to do is place a component from Content Center. And if we look over here in Content Center, we'll see that we have tubes and pipes. Sorry, we want structural shapes. And we're going to use square rectangular tubes. And the one I'm looking for is that one, BSEN 10305-5. The square one, BSEN 10305-5 square tubing. So if you click that once and click OK, you'll get this amazing menu drop up. So the size that we want to use is 15 by 15 by 2 millimeter wall thickness, and we can specify the length that we want to put in there, which is 200 millimeters. So you manually type that in, leave it as custom, and hit apply. And you want to give that a part name, so I'm going to call that main shaft, and it's an embedded part file inside an assembly. Hit save, and that gives you the option of where you want to place it. So you just left click your mouse, and you could place another one if you wanted, but we don't want one, so we hit escape to break that off. Okay, there's our component. So what we can do there, we're within an assembly, we want to modify this part to put the holes in it, just like we have in this one I prepared earlier. And so in order to do that in an assembly, what we need to do is double click, see how it ghosts out, double click on that part, and you'll notice that you're actually working in that part because you've got a return up on the top right. So what we need to do is create a new sketch. So we right click the mouse and select new sketch from the menu, and we select the surface that we want the sketch on. So that's left click on that surface, and you'll see it presents that surface to you. Your sketch options, and you can zoom that around. Now if that's difficult to manage, we can rotate that to the right so we can see it more clearly. Hold down your scroll wheel so you can move that around. Now we're going to project the geometry so that we can create a sketch. So I want to project the top edge, some part of the end, the bottom edge, and some part of the end there. So we've got reference points. Our next step is to create a center point circle so we can put the holes. So we right click and go center point circle. Now I'm just going to click randomly in any spot there because we're going to position it. So left click to place the center, left click to put the actual circle there. Right click on your mouse, and we're going to add some dimensions. I want a dimension from this edge of the SHS to this edge of the SHS. You'll see it comes up automatically with a black dimension. That's 15 millimeters, and it's saying that this is a driven dimension, which we want to accept. Now if I left click on the center of the circle and left click on the bottom edge, drag that dimension out, it's highlighted blue, So I can actually type in 7.5, or I can use a function. So I can click on that 15 millimeters and then go divided by 2. That way, if I change my tubing size later because the model demands it, it will always keep that hole center in the middle. And likewise, if I dimension from that edge to the hole center, drag that down and keep it the same as that function dimension, that will keep it aligned perfectly. Now I could mirror that, but it's actually easier just to do another circle. So it's exactly the same process again. General dimension, the edge to that edge, center to edge, and if you want it to be the same as the other end, you go and find the dimension that you want, which is that one, and click tick, and for the depth in, click on that dimension again, and we'll keep it the same. Okay, so that's our sketch finished for that component. We're going to use the hole tool to create the next part. So we finish our sketch. Alright, up here we have our hole tool. You can also find it by right clicking your mouse and you'll see hole. Select that, and if you zoom in you can actually select the hole center. For both of them you can do them at the same time. And our hole center, you see the blue pop up, we actually want those holes to be 5.5 millimeters. And our termination we want through all, and we're just going to leave it as the standard hole form. So you can tick it there or click OK. And it'll put those holes through. See we have 2 holes. If you want to check, you can use your look at button. Click on that face, rotate it around. You can see that you have 2 clean holes. I'm holding down shift there to pan as well. Alright, so we're happy with where our holes are, so I'm going to press return, and that takes us back into the assembly, and there's our component. And we just want to hit save now to make sure that everything's saved. And this is going to save our assembly. We're actually going to call it folding shovel. I'm going to call mine demo 2. And save. And when these pop up, you generally just want to go yes to all to make sure they're all ticked, and click OK.